Hello and welcome to my hot and humid June empties. So first up for books, I did finally finish this book. So last month I had read the first 3 books here. This month I read So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. Then there was this short story, Zaphod Plays It Safe, Young Zaphod Plays It Safe. And then I read, kind of broke it up a little with some little comics I bought. There's this one that's 2-in-1 called Working Dogs and Sex Work, and it's like this very kind of vibrant, cartoony, sort of corporate satire. And then there's this one that's a really short one called Green Glow, about how this kid was always trying to bring stuff out of his dreams as a kid because he liked the movie Friday the 13th. And nope, Nightmare on Elm Street. So anywho, then, okay, I read those, and then I read the last book in this, which is Mostly Harmless. Technically, there's one more book in the series, but it's written by a different guy. I think that Douglas Adams passed away. So I've started reading that, but that's the complete collection in this book. My review of the later, it's kind of like a trilogy and then a second trilogy, okay? The later books, they have like a more kind of romantic and plotty feel to them, but still a lot of the same appeal of the first book. So that was interesting to me. And those are all my books for the month, okay? So first up for movies, I watched Backrooms. I watched this one in theaters. I really liked it. Obviously the set pieces were really compelling. That's kind of like the big draw. It's like horror Willy Wonka, except Willy Wonka kind of is a horror, and I feel like this shed light on that. And honestly, also, like, it's just like all these really, if you haven't seen the trailer, like these really kind of uncanny like imitations of regular rooms and architecture and stuff, and where like something's a little off. And I just like lived in some wonky apartments, and it was really speaking to me the way like some of the rooms looked. So I was loving that. I was like, yeah, a wonky apartment is like a horror movie, except mostly chill. And I guess my one criticism would be, I feel like I feel like it kind of jumps in the plot without like super justifying how the escalation happens that fast towards the end. So I guess that would be my criticism. I think the person who made it was like 18 when they wrote it, so that's kind of it. Like, it's super freaking impressive for like a first movie, and I really enjoyed it. Second for movies, this was a rewatch. There's Something About Mary. I watched a lot of kind of older comedy movies like from this same era this month, and safe to say most of them don't totally hold up. Like, I think there's definitely stuff in this movie that if I made it now I would take out, but I honestly think the heart of it is like a really interesting point about like what it's like to be like a regular kind of beautiful woman that is like nice to people, and then like everybody gets like so obsessed with her, and like they kind of make a point at the end that it's like it's not really about her, it's about how she makes you feel. But I do kind of feel like them ending up together at the end, spoilers, all right, undermines that a little bit, but I don't know, I think that's a really unique kind of premise, and like a little bit more insightful about the female experience than most movies of this ilk are. So word up. Next up was Hitch. This is also kind of, I would say, a comedy movie from that era. One of these classic it's more of a romance, honestly. Well, it's got both. And it's one of these classic movies where it's like, I did something kind of that was like subterfuge to end up in this relationship, but then I want to be in the relationship, and then what's gonna happen when she finds out? Damn. My review of this movie is, I think Will Smith and Eva Mendes have, some steamy chemistry. Obviously, they're both hot. And I like the kind of premise of like the suave guy gets like taken down a peg, and I like Kevin James in this movie also. I think that he's really kind of a fun character, And I think it makes a kind of nuanced point about, again, also, it's really a movie about like men kind of feeling entitled to women's affection, but also like the way they go about that and the ways that they do that poorly. But I would say I like 50% agree and 50% think that the lesson at the end is kind of just so it can be like romantic. You know what I mean? This was an excellent movie. It was very scary. It was very compelling. I think the themes of it are woven into the movie in a really compelling way that really builds a lot of suspense. And I love the bad guy, okay? I won't spoil it at all because I think it's really a movie you should go into blind, but I absolutely love the way they do the bad guy. Okay, thank you. And I hope you know what I mean when you watch it, because there's something else you maybe could think I mean and it's not that. Okay. And then I also watched Weapons this month, which is by the same director. I think that Weapons came out more recently, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I think Weapons might have come out this year. Anyway, and this is also, it's told in a really compelling way. I was talking with my roommate Owen, shout out Owen, about the guy that made these movies, like did sketch comedy before this, and so they both kind of have this interesting structure to them that's like broken up a little bit. Like they're not like just one start to finish movie, they kind of jump around a little, and I think that's you know, it's fun to just see the connection between those. And yeah, this one really scared me. And but it's like just like a great, like it is scary and it is a horror movie, but it's like a great mystery plot and like a great drama, and the characterization is done well. And both of these movies have like a sense of humor that's really, you know, built into them without undermining the horror. So I would really recommend both. This movie definitely holds up the least well out of the movies that I watched this month. But and also I will say, like, I would say the middle chunk kind of relies on a lot of kind of tropes and stuff for comedy that I'm not that into, but there are certain moments of it that are really funny. And they do this really fun thing I want to shout out and give my seal of approval to at the beginning, where they are like, it's like a movie about a film set for a movie. And so at the beginning they like introduce all of the actor characters by showing like trailers of the movies they're in, and that part is the best part to me. It's really funny. It's a creative way to introduce like not just who they are, but their like place in culture. And Robert Downey Jr.'s character, he's like in this like sexy romance movie where he plays like a monk, and it's like a gay romance with another monk who's played by Tobey Maguire. That's so funny. Okay, sorry to keep spoiling all the good parts of all these movies, but you gotta get there first if you want to watch it. If you don't want to know, then you gotta freaking get there first. All right, you gotta get up pretty early in the morning to get. Basically, I thought this was a great comedy movie. If I were making it, I would be a little more aware the whole time that there are adults interacting with high school kids, because that doesn't seem so kind of addressed. Okay, Channing Tatum is typecast as like a beefcake with a heart of gold, and like, what more could you ask for? You know what I mean? It just, every character he plays, it's like you would think this guy is dumb and mean because he's so hot, but he's actually nice and smart. It's like, okay, good for him. Goops time. Okay, this month we finished as a collective, a household, we finished a toothpaste. I don't have it, but it was basically a Crest toothpaste. I'll show an example here. Okay, so that's that. I finished leave-in conditioner, Cantu leave-in conditioner. I buy a lot of it because I use it, you know what I mean? It's not like it's going bad in there. So I like that. And yeah, this works for me. I might try out some other ones at some point, because it's always a tricky thing to balance. Like, I don't want my roots to get oily, but I don't want my ends to get dry, but I also don't want my roots to get dry. So you can imagine. And then the last scoop I finished this month was a shaving cream that this worked pretty well. I think, you know, I think I'm getting there with shaving, finding, you know, I have to moisturize my legs a lot and then they don't get irritated, and then most shaving creams work okay. And at some point I might try out some other razors, because I've, you know, obviously I replaced the blade, but I've been using the same razor the whole time I've been shaving. So, you know, we've got a lot of interesting things on the horizon for me in terms of goop experimentation. I did go to the refill store this month. I went with my parents. Shout out to my parents. I'm blaming them. They distracted me. I didn't take pictures of what I got when I got it, or videos. Just kidding. It's not your fault, guys. Don't be too upset about it. Okay, but I think I remember what I got. So I'll show you definitely what I remember getting, which is I got some oats in here. We're eating a lot of oatmeal in this household. It just spilled everywhere. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. You got, wait, I have to show you what just happened. And then I'm gonna finish filming and then clean it up. I think I'm almost done. Okay, hold on. So that's why Dakin's gonna be so upset. Okay. Unless he never finds out, guys, okay? I also got banana chips in here. I'm so scared now. Got banana chips for Henry. And then I got hand soap. I filled up this bottle, but then, you know, we put it in here to use. And then I got chocolate chips in here, but we've obviously eaten them all. Yum, yum, yum. So that's what I remember getting at the refill store. Mom and Dad, comment below if you remember me getting anything else that I forgot about. Thank you. And then very, very lastly, I have one craft from this month, which is that it was Owen's birthday. Shout out Owen's birthday. And I made them, it was a SpongeBob themed birthday party. I made them this SpongeBob bandana by block printing onto a yellow bandana. I'm pretty proud of it. I think it came out nicely. And now I have the block print. So if you guys want to commission any SpongeBob stuff from me, you know who to call. Me. Thank you for watching my empties. I gotta clean up this mess now. And so wish me luck. Even though I already have done it. That's a nice thought. When you watch this video, I'll already have cleaned up the mess. Goodbye. Happy Pride.